Do things out of love for it. Don't do things out of resentment. Oftentimes, when we come across a bad experience with somebody, or a bad experience with somebody, we'll think about it and then we'll do things out of resentment of them. So, for example, if somebody were to maybe say a negative thing about you, whether it was like a big thing I see or I hear about is like with parents, they say something that to their kid that wasn't really the greatest thing to say, and then they'll do that negative thing to prove a point to them, even though it's not good for them. And I hope this makes sense, and I'm not wording this in a weird way, but that would be an example of like you're doing it out of resentment for somebody or a resentment of someone, and you're not necessarily doing it because you're doing it to improve yourself or you're doing it because you actually like to do it. You're doing it simply to just prove their point or prove your own. That's another thing that people like to do. When you get put in these negative scenarios, they'll do these negative things that these people say about them to prove their point in hopes that they get liked more or they're more welcome by these people. And that's like one of the worst things you can do, because you're only hurting yourself in the process just to get validation from people that don't even really care about you. And then you have the opposite one, where people are so pissed off at somebody that they specifically won't do something just because they don't want to let the other person win. And if it was an argument, whatever it was, people do that too. So what I'm saying is, do not do things out of this type of resentment or resentment at all. Do things because you actually like to do it or you love to do it, or because you love somebody, not because you hate them. So start doing things out of love, not resentment. I know it sounds kind of corny, sounds kind of cliche or whatever, I get it. But I'm not saying this as like a Disney movie. I'm saying it as when you do things because you actually love it, you're passionate about it, do it because you're passionate about it, not because you feel obligated through hate or resentment from somebody else or something. Do it because, my bad. Do it because you're passionate about it. Do it because you love it. Because when you do something because you love it, it makes it so much of an easier process to grow, because you're not treating it like a 9-to-5 job. You're treating it as a hobby. So things like going to the gym. A big problem is people, once they do it for so long, they kind of look at it as a 9-to-5. Like they're like, oh, I have to go to the gym. It's not, I want to go. It's I have to go. So I know these topics are kind of all over the place, but the whole point of what I'm getting at is when you do things out of love, when you do things out of passion, you get a lot further than when you do things out of hate or resentment, whether it's of something or someone. You could sit there and you can resent somebody for however long you want, but is that really going to help you grow at all? No. So, do things out of love, never do anything out of resentment. Now, we're all people, we're going to mess up at times. That's just a given, but you can't hold yourself back through that feeling of, I hate this person, so let me do this purposely just to go against what they stand up for, whatever it is. Because when you do that, you're going to do it so much to the point where you don't even really realize it anymore, and you're never going to be able to grow, because you're going to be doing everything out of resentment. Everything's done to get back at somebody. Everything's done out of revenge. Everything's done to, prove a point that isn't really a positive point, it's a negative point. And when you do that, before you know it, you've wasted so much time just trying to prove to somebody that really could give less of a shit about what you have to say. And instead of putting that time towards helping yourself out, you did it just to hurt someone else, which most of the time they could care less. So do things out of love. Do things out of passion. Don't treat everything like a 9-to-5. Like, you have to do this. Treat it like I want to do this, or, I get the chance to do this. Thinking through that way is going to help you a lot more than thinking in a way of, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do everything. I have to hang out with friends and family. I have to make a video today, or I have to apply to jobs. I mean, even I do that. Like, sometimes when I have my days where I don't really feel like posting, I'll be like, man, I have to do it, and then it never happens. But when I change the simple word of have to want or get, I get to, I want to, I don't know, it's a weird thing to explain. It's a weird feeling, but it makes it feel less of an obligation and more of like, I get the chance to do this. I have the opportunity to do this. I can take advantage of this. You know what I'm saying? So do things out of love, do things out of passion. Never do out of resentment, whether it's of someone or something. Because when you do things out of resentment, you hold yourself back, because you're proving a negative point to somebody else, which is just wasting your time. Your time is valuable, so you have to treat it that way. So instead of putting your time into proving a negative point at someone else, or resenting someone else, or hating somebody else, put that time and effort into actually helping yourself, improving yourself, and just improving in every aspect of your life. Do that and stop doing the resentment part, because I'm telling you, when you do it, you're not only wasting your time, but after so long and you get so used to doing it that you won't give yourself time to grow, because you'll be so focused on what others think. So that's really it. Do out of love, do out of passion, do it because you love it, not because you hate it. And as always, life's too short to make a change.